What's up, guys? I'm back, and this time it's literally just me. So, what I'm gonna do is maybe go on like some tangents and some rants, something fun, and I'm just gonna go off the dome. So, I hope everybody's been well. I'll just start with that because that's the right way to start this off. All my other counterparts are busy. Um, and yeah, so just me. Anyways, you're probably wondering, what's this guy been up to all day? And I'm gonna tell you, it's been a day. It's been a good day. I've been, okay. I've been dog training today. I've never done that before. And apparently, dogs can be a crazy amount of work, which I've also never had to experience. Because my dogs have always been super easy. I've always had pits, and that breed has been, I mean, it's my favorite breed, but I'm also biased. I've had Mastiffs in the past when I was young, and we also had like a crazy mixed breed of whatever. We thought she was like a wolf too. I don't know how much truth there was to that though, but oh my god. Yeah, so mixed wolf breed, Mastiff breed. But after that, it was pit bulls. So male pit first, he's by himself, then we got a female, and then that's like been the cycle. Now, I don't have any dogs now personally, but my parents have dogs, and they live right across the street. So, so I get to see those guys pretty often. I actually saw them today. But yeah, over at my buddy's, and he's got two Mastiffs, and two English Mastiffs, and they are, for lack of a better word, just fucking his house up. And they're kind of bad, kind of fuck around with people too much too. So he's really been working on that. Him and his wife have been really getting after it, trying to make them good dogs, basically. So it's a crazy amount of work though, dude. It's like having, I mean, I've always said that having dogs is like having kids, but I had no idea what it was like if your dogs don't like just behave out the box. Like if they're not easy to train, what do you do? And it's kind of insane to see how much money, how much time, like the parallel between having dogs and having kids was like, it was so direct. It was crazy though because it was so like so much more elevated in that situation where the dogs aren't like easily trained. So that's pretty gnarly. But it was cool to go over there and kind of like hang out, and I haven't gotten to see my friends for a while, so been busy, been doing stuff, living life, you know. But yeah, that was rad. So a little bit of dog training, you know. They want you to like walk around with the leash and like guide them. It's a lot of like trying to be assertive, but also um, in like a kind of a passive way too, though. Like that you want them to more or less just understand like, okay, this is the right thing to do, and they'll do it on their own accord instead of you constantly having to force it. So right now it's a lot more of like forcing, but obviously they're in the early stages of it, so they're just trying to learn. But sick craziness. Yeah, dogs' brains are wild too. So what a great morning. And then got some spicy chicken, and it has been kind of tearing my stomach up actually. So not chill, but that's okay. We're getting over the hump, I think. I think we're coming to the end of that. So yeah, spicy chicken smack though was good, and it was from a gas station, which was crazy. Speaking of, isn't it wild the difference of like, I mean, not to shit on any different types of industries because you can be whoever and work any job, but wow, some people, you're like, this, it makes sense that you do what you do because I don't think you could manage doing anything with any more responsibility. It's pretty wild. just the uh, just the way the world works, where people fall, crazy domino effects. Who knows how we get where we go? Yeah, but people trying to make a name for themselves versus people that are cool with being whoever, have no real guidance. I think a lot of that has to. I think a lot of like having no guidance has to do with where you end up, but pretty interesting seeing how dumb people can be. But I'm not telling anybody anything. Everybody thinks that they're smarter than the next person, so, and that's for sure true. Yeah. You're definitely on the road driving, and you're like, this guy next to me is a fucking idiot. And then you do something stupid as fuck, and then the guy behind you is like, I can't believe they gave you a license. So, everybody's smarter than the next person, and I'm a genius, and you're also a genius watching this. And yeah, we're all rocket scientists, so, and we're all better than the other person, so it's true. Yeah, everybody's better than everybody else, so there's no balance. Frosted Flakes are so good. I think this has to be probably my favorite cereal. It's definitely a classic staple in cereals for me. I've been eating Frosted Flakes for literally probably, over a decade for sure. As a young child, I was screwing cereal up, man. Love cereal. I used to have I'm pretty sure it was literally a flower pot, like a bowl, but it's a pot that it's like a flower pot. And even this bowl is like absolutely obnoxious. This thing is huge. But yeah, I used to eat cereal in like a by the flower pot. So, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get them. Even though I don't have them. But that is how you get them, though. You want to crush cereal. I don't know if you guys saw, but if you hit the Insta, I did do some stuff on pancakes, like protein pancakes. And I talked a little bit about artificial sweeteners, because I've just been like, one, I always think it's funny when I see the next wave of like science about anything, because it's like, okay, we thought that like it was XYZ 5 years ago, oh, but now we were totally wrong, and actually this is the truth. And then you look at like the cited studies and what have you, and the study it doesn't really show anything that the headline states. So it's like having to understand how to read a study and a paper and actually doing the due diligence and going through it. And like, I'm really grateful for a lot of people that take the time to do that and then break it down in like a digestible way. And a lot of times that helps you retain the information. So that's always like kind of a godsend, because it's like, I want to know, but on the other hand, like if I don't sit down and have the time to like read through this whole fucking basically paper, it's hard to really understand what they're talking about. But anyways, artificial sweeteners, do you think that they're going to give you cancer and kill you and end the world? Or are you kind of like, fuck it, let's run that shit, because there is really nothing linking it. There's nothing really linking it to those kind of claims. Obviously within like extreme excess, and I'm talking extreme excess, like you'd never do this to yourself. You have a problem if you're digesting, like consuming this many artificial sweeteners on a regular basis. Like, you should obviously try to eat whole foods. When I say whole foods, I mean like, your like healthy balance of like proteins, fats, and carbs as your macros, and then trying to get your micronutrients in as well. But there's been like a bunch of back and forth on what the right way to diet is, and what works for some people and what doesn't. But I think a lot of times they try to generalize what's going to work for someone and what isn't. But either way, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm finally getting on that tangent, dude. It's rolling, the dice are rolling. And I played Yahtzee actually for the first time, so I don't really play many dice games, but that was fun. But yeah, artificial sweeteners, it's kind of crazy. Seeing where science comes and goes, and pretty much like what we think, or what we think we know, and then we realize like we were way the fuck wrong. So, we're smart guys, like I said. The scientists are regular people too. They know everything also. And they're literally scientists, especially rocket scientists. Like, it's literally rocket science. So, kind of flex, but even they're wrong. I like when I get the thick ones that have just like a shitload of sugar in them. Those are the best ones. Chef's kisses. Are you guys staying hydrated today? You should go drink some water. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Oh man, I can tell it's kind of getting hot in my house. ASMR for you. I know you like that. Yeah, it's kind of getting warm in here, but I won't have the AC on because it makes noise. Just more podcast setup issues. I usually run it beforehand so that it's like cool in here, but with all these, you can't see them, but there's a gang of fucking lights all over the place. Yeah, makes it fucking pretty hot. They're actually really quiet though, which is crazy, because they have fans in them. Pretty good buy. Pretty good buy. I'm a bit of a scientist myself, actually. Kind of a camera guy. I don't know if you've noticed, but you got a bit of a camera setup here, a lot of equipment going on. And a soft couch to double it down. That way you can set the cameras up, chill out on the couch. Not a big deal. But let's I think I wanted to take a look at like Instagram and just kind of run through some stuff and see what kind of like nonsense I can get on here and just like pass it on. Oh, here's a fun fact. Did you know that we never stopped working during the pandemic? Something just came up about that. Oh shit, I said it. Ooh, you're not supposed to say that word on YouTube. Whatever. Yeah, a lot of people didn't ever stop working, like the essential workers, but just like people in general, I feel like a lot of people just didn't stop, and most of them are fine from what I understand. Kind of crazy. What kind of video games we got coming out these days, dude? I was thinking about setting up the VR headset, but it's a lot of work, and I don't know. I don't really want to move the computer, and I don't really want to set it up in the office. But the Valve Steam Index is pretty sick. I don't know if they've come out with anything new, but that is a good headset. It was kind of blew me away on how crazy it was when I first like got in it. Actually, yeah, my dad fucking fucked his face up doing VR. He had the what's the Facebook one? The is it the Oculus? Maybe? I don't know. Whichever one Facebook makes. And he's doing a kayaking game, and he used to like swim a lot and surf and whatever. And he's done kayaking before too, so he knows like the motions, like it feels natural. So he was like killing it, I guess. And they're watching him play on the TV, right? The people he's with. And as he's doing it, someone keeps telling him like, dip your head underwater, you know, because he's got VR on. But he's like standing there doing it, and they're like, dip your head underwater. So he's like, okay, I'll do it, like reluctantly, and then like kind of loses his sense of balance, and then like falls and eats shit and like cranks his head on a coffee table, like the corner of it, of course, and just like takes a bunch of shit down with him off the table and just fucks everything up in the house. So you gotta be careful when you're playing these video games these days, guys. It's pretty dangerous. Oh, another video game VR deal, Sword Art Online. Gotta be one of the sickest animes of all time. I mean, and I didn't even know how much, like how extensive that show is too. There's like different realms and whatever, but if you haven't checked out Sword Art Online, sick ass anime, something to look into, honestly. Yeah, but aside from that, VR, it's very dangerous. Let's see, are you religious? Me? The Book of Goth Butts in Fishnets. Some goth mommies out there, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Mike Israetel. If anybody knows about this guy, he's sick. A good follow for sure. His thing is literally Dr. Mike Israetel at Instagram. So he's getting ready to compete for a show right now, and he's looking pretty sick. But his updates on his diet are definitely sad times. He's in starvation mode currently. I was talking to a friend about that today, kind of what it takes to truly compete, and not just like compete in bodybuilding, like, you know, I want to compete, I want to try it. More like I want to be competitive, and I truly want to succeed in this. It takes a tremendous amount of like work, not just work, but dedication in general, between your time, your effort, money spent, you know, money lost because of time. So like for a job like mine, I don't even know. I couldn't work overtime for sure on most days, you know, or you'd just be so smoked too at work, already like dealing with calorie expenditure and harder days, like fluctuations between that. Yeah, this guy's looking actually sick. He's kind of a blocky guy, but he's kind of like holding some crazy shape right now. This is the best I've ever seen him look. It's pretty insane. Um, but yeah, and then the drug use, of course. You know, if you really want to be competitive, all the compounds that it really takes to look the way that these guys look. You know, all you're doing is putting your body through hell, risking your health. Um, but this dude is sick between like the actual working out advice and the science behind like diet and training. He's very insightful and can help you if you're looking to start your bodybuilding journey or just get healthier in general. He kind of panders to more bodybuilding side, like more extreme and experienced, but he has plenty of information that can help anybody, even if you're just getting into it, you know. And I'd say that even if you were just getting into it, it'd be good to know the ins and outs on a more extensive side, just because eventually you're going to get there, right? Especially if you really end up liking it. So if you have better insight off the bat, you'll be better off in the long run, I think, instead of like taking baby steps and doing beginner. Obviously, you have to begin somewhere, but you don't want information that's gonna hold you back. So if you can already have like more of an advanced understanding of something when you get into it initially, as long as you can understand it fully, I'd say that's better. But the bodybuilding lifestyle's crazy. A lot of these guys are dying pretty young, dude. 50s. All these cats are dying in the 50s, dude. We've had a lot of guys fucking die recently. Like within this year, last year, a lot of guys died, and not from like the whole virus thing, but just because of their health in general. I mean, you had a lot of these dudes that were open bodybuilder mass monsters, you know, weighing in the high 200s, you know, some of them 300 plus in the off season, and dude, it just takes a toll on your body. And the hard part is you might be healthy for the most part, you know, you might think you're healthy, but I think there's still a lot that we don't understand about how it really affects you. Like I was listening to a study, like in the long term, I was listening to a study talk about, not related to bodybuilding, but it was a sleep experiment, and they were talking about the long-term effects. So this guy holds the record. I think he still holds the record, but he went 11 days without sleeping, so it was like 256 hours or something like that, and he didn't sleep for that portion of time, and then you know he had like all the symptoms leading after a couple days, but he slept for 14 hours afterwards, and then over the preceding next like 3 days or so, he was made like a full recovery. So he was fine. There wasn't anything that seemed like there was lasting consequences. But then later down the line, he's 50 now, I think, and he's having like crazy sleep paralysis issues. So, or not sleep paralysis, but insomnia issues. So he literally can't sleep again. And he swears that it has to do with the sleep experiment, although that's a pretty long time period between the gaps. But even still, just because you can't prove it doesn't mean it's not real, you know? So just because we don't have the understanding or science, you know, neurologically, to understand why that would be the case, doesn't mean that it's not the case. Like for him to come out of nowhere, there's a lot of neurological things that happen where it's like the snap of a finger, and then all of a sudden your life has changed forever because your mind is altered. It's really like the whole power plant for this whole meat suit that we're in here. So keep your mind healthy. That's a whole other thing that's hard to do. To know what you're supposed to take and what's true and what's not true. And right now, like, there's a big health craze, and everybody, I mean, there's always like the thing, like there's always something that is blown out of proportion, you know, like, oh, superfoods or whatever, like you're supposed to cook with this oil, or you should use butter or whatever, you know. There's always, like, in the 80s there was the whole like fat-free thing. I think it was the 80s. But then, you know, we realized that fat is like totally fine, and it's something that, you know, we have a better understanding on how to use it, how our bodies utilize it. So having fats in your diet is like actually really important. But you know, we were like on a fat-free craze, and now it's like sugar-free, you know, and all the artificial sweeteners. But we've always been on like something. You always have to have something, right? Some type of vice, because you can't just be healthy or normal. You know, you can't just eat normal foods. There has to be some type of vice. So that's where we're at right now. We're looking at artificial sweeteners right now. It's like the big kick right now, and I'm on board, dude. I like it. I'm on board with it. You know, I like real sugar too. I'm not scared. You know, I can count my calories, but fuck it, dude. Give me some artificial sweeteners. You know, let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get some adaptations. Let's get some mutations. I'm trying to go to Mars, and I think that if I can consume enough artificial sweeteners, I'll be able to change my genetics enough that maybe I can survive in outer space. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the next like couple years here. So I'm just gonna keep crushing cereal and Mio Energies and stuff, and just call it a day or whatever. I mean, artificial sweeteners are in like literally everything, so it's pretty easy goal. You gotta set yourself up for success, guys. Okay, if you're gonna try to change your genetics, like me, you have to set yourself up for success. So I kind of have my goals laid out, kind of thought about this, and if you want to be like me, you have to think about that kind of stuff too. So good luck though, you know, because like I said before, I'm kind of smarter than everybody else, just like you. I don't know if you can see that my straw is sustainable. It's metal. So, no plastic here. No plastic here, guys. We're straight glass bowl. Glass cup. And metal straw. Probably a little jealous of that, huh? And there's turtles in my backyard, in my pool. I have turtles. Bet you don't. So yeah, I'm excited for the next rave, honestly. I think the next one's hard summer. Actually, what is it, July, August? Oh shit, it is. Yeah, it's hard summer. It's gonna be sick. They're doing it in LA this year, so that's kind of cool. Just a quick, short hop and skip from my casa, so just roll down there. Oh yeah, I've been dealing with fleas lately. I hate them. So if you've been dealing with fleas, I get it. You know, we're the same, and they suck. So annoying. I took my cat over to my parents. They have fleas also. And dude, I set him down on the ground for like 1 minute, literally. And it was on concrete on top of it, like not even really like a kind of like a prime place for fleas. They like a lot of like carpets, dirt, brush, shit like that. But and they just sprayed their yard. So, and dude, fleas. So I went home, had to wash him. He does not like that. Very typical kitty. What else we got here? Dinosaurs are cool as fuck. Just saw that. I'm working on myself. Modifying Retarded Behavior. That's something I should read. It's a good book, I'm sure. I need to get back into BMXing. Or maybe just mountain biking, actually. I always see these mountain bike posts, like people just doing sick stuff. And I just think, wow, I would like to do that again, but I just don't want to get hurt. I hate being hurt. Injuries are literally the worst. Like the setback, the amount of time it takes to recover nowadays, so annoying. It's literally exhausting. Just knowing that I'm hurt is annoying. I mean, I'm not, but knowing when you are, that you literally can't do something, like you're vulnerable. If we were in a survival situation, oh my god, I'm having a stroke. If we were in a survival situation and you were injured, dude, you might get left behind. And I don't want to do that to you, but do better. Don't get hurt. Like, that's why you die in a zombie apocalypse. Just saying. Oh, also thought about this. If you were in a zombie apocalypse, bro, that means no more sushi. That sucks. That's such a bummer. Because zombie apocalypse kind of sounds tight, honestly. Right? Sounds cool. You know, zombies are sick. I love them. But, damn, like, no more sushi? I fucking love sushi. That sucks, you know? Major bummer on that one. Big bummer. Oh, shit. I was, like, talking about what I did this weekend. Oh, no, I didn't. I was talking about what I did today. Okay, cool. Well, I was on Laguna Beach this weekend. Honestly, it's beautiful. You should go hang out there. It's sick. There's a bunch of shops. Oh, that was a good one. That was like a sugar one right there. I was like, I just ate probably like 50 grams of sugar right there. It was sick. Yeah, Laguna Beach is tight though. Restaurants there are fucking fire. I mean, not even like astronomically expensive either. You know, I was expecting worse. Wasn't that bad, but I went to a place called the Sawdust, and it's like a big art museum deal. Like, people are selling art and whatever. It's like an art exhibition, not a museum. But that was super sick. Got a gang of art. I was looking at this like recipe art. It was like glass pieces put together. You know, like broken glass, and they kind of like form it together. And it had like a recipe on it, and it was for pumpkin pie, and it was like Halloweened out with like pumpkins and like a spooky ghost guy who's like you could light up and whatever. So sick. But dude, oh my god, she wanted like $450 for this thing, and I was like, that's a lot of money for a piece of glass. It's gonna hang on my wall. So instead, I've got something that says like start each day with a full heart. Maybe, I don't know what it says actually. Just put it up there. It looks nice though. But yeah, it's like about like $25, $25 piece of art right there. So didn't want to flex on too hard, you know. But it's the first thing you see when you walk in. So you gotta start each day with a full heart. Because by the end of the day, that shit is exhausting, and your heart's gonna be depleted. And that's really just how that goes. What else we got on here? You ever realize how like crazy eyesight is? Like, just the fact that we can see, it's insane. Like, eyesight alone is insane. Just pretty much like the beginning of like how it developed and everything. I've watched videos on it before. It's fucking crazy. But the fact that if you lose your eyesight, you're so screwed. Like, you can't do anything. Especially now, like if I lost my eyesight now, dude, I would suck. Like, it would take me so, like, at least I have my hearing still, but imagine losing two senses at once. Like, you lose your hearing and your eyesight. I feel like those are like the main two, right? I mean, touch is super important also, but like, oh my god. I would lose my hearing before my eyesight, for sure, first. Like, take my ears away, for sure. Before my sight, I mean, not hearing would suck, but like, you can write it down. We'll figure it out. You know, I'll figure that part out. But not being able to see, oh my goodness. Like, trash. Take me out, you know, coach, I'm done. Sit me on the bench. Because I'm not going to be able to run this play. So, yeah, eyesight's fucking crazy. Just collected a bunch of honey today from our bees. Speaking on behalf of my parents right now. Very exciting stuff. I think I'm gonna go over there later and raid their shit. Get some honey. Raccoons are mad cute. What do you guys think about girls that wear chokers? Like a little black choker? I kinda like that. I'm down with chokers. I've been seeing on Instagram recently a lot of guys with Down syndrome. And there's one guy in particular who's like a bodybuilder, but he's got Down syndrome. Honestly, this dude's physique's like alright. Especially considering he has Down syndrome. And it's looking pretty good for my man. It's pretty crazy. What the friggin' heck? Oh man, that's gross. Yeah, I mean, it's been real, guys. I'm at about 30, and we've had a sick conversation so far. We've really covered a lot of topics. I think we've gone over a lot. So, Instagram's kind of lacking right now. That's actually kind of crazy. Before we go, let's talk about social media in general and our time spent on our phones and disconnected from each other. Not chill, right, guys? We need to talk to each other more. Let's end this on a positive note, on a note of learning. I don't think the social media stuff is very good for us. And I consume a lot of social media. Like, dude, most of my time is spent either on, well, okay, that sounds crazy. Let me rephrase that. Like, you know how some people sit down and watch TV? I don't watch TV. I watch movies, mostly horror movies, and if I'm not watching like a movie or anime, I'll watch like YouTube, and it's usually like educational stuff though. There's a couple like artists that I like that kind of have like similar interests to me, but aside from that, and like maybe Instagram during the day, that's like it. So between Instagram though and like YouTube, there's so much endless dumb shit for us to consume. It's like eating candy for your mind. It's trash though. So just be aware what you watch, you know? It's the same concept as like you are who you hang out with. Like I feel like you are what you watch, you know? What you consume. The same thing like what you put in your body. You know, you are what you eat. You become the things that you surround yourself with, interact with, like you become those things. So be diligent about what you're trying to become, you know, who you want to be. Just be smart, you know, make a decision. You know what's right and what's wrong. I know you do. You're smart. Remember, we talked about that. You're smarter than everybody else. So be smart. And I'm going to go mess up this cereal some more. And I'll go to my parents, I think. So love you guys. It's been real. Have a freaking sick day. Peace.